kept on fighting. And what they have as well is a player called Com and a player called Beast Mode who's come back this split and been so successful. But at the moment, they don't have too good of a defense. 1-0 early doors for G2.
So the answer to how you slow down G2 is not like this. Let this ball roll right out to JNaps. Com couldn't get there. However, good enough. Has Atomic been good enough? I think the answer to that question certainly has been yes. JNaps has always been good enough, and he's got a second goal.
He's been good enough for about 8 seasons now, Stacks, and here's why.
Yeah.
You know, it's the ability to change his mind in midair. He fakes the flip reset. Beast mode isn't happening for them just yet. It is early days, though, early doors. And this is great practice for them, you know. They're double committing. They're being rushed by G2. But as they're going into the major, it will be a good lesson to learn how good these top teams are.
Well, G2 just continues to pour it on here, and this G2 squad in contention to make the major, to a team you expect maybe to contend to win the major. Hard to overstate exactly how good he has been for G2 in such a short amount of time. He gets another goal here and a 4-goal lead for G2.
I mean, it was a horrific touch from Torment, it has to be said, but
winning this whole thing would be nice. You get the extra points. That will go a long way towards getting into Worlds or the wild card. You get the extra $20,000 as Torment will score here with 1:04 to go. But you do have to wonder if there's kind of a letdown after all that pressure and then the elation of actually qualifying.
I mean, it's been such a slow start for version 1, but Beast
sometimes much longer. And when they come back, they don't seem to still have that same zip. Beast mode does, though. Nobody has anything here. Chicago adds yet another. And it's a playmaker for Atomic in the opening game.
I don't want to pick on Torment too much, but he has just had a bit of a backflip there.
Question left is how many goals will they score when all is said and done? They got one more trip down the field. No, that ball will just die on their half. And so it's only a 5-1 victory for G2.
I think the best thing you can say about V1 there is that they scored a nice...
Just rocket right at the net. Com happened to be there. Or rather, Atomic happened to be there. This bounces out of the corner. Beast Mode will score the open net after the miss out of the corner, and Beast Mode gives version 1 their first lead of the series.
Version 1 are here to play, looking a lot better right now. Beast Mode with the simple finish, and it's 1-0.
1 goal, kind of an outlier for version 1 in the last game. They come in averaging almost 2.5 a game, and they're about to get another. Torment scores on an open net as they caught G2 napping. Some mistakes you just can't afford to make, no matter cover and make the save. It looked like Atomic had the read of a lifetime. Now JNaps will score on a relatively open net, and G2's right back in it.
Oh, look at them go. Yeah, never safe when you're up against G2. JNaps will just keep that ball going up against the version 1 net, and eventually
2-1 ratio in game 1. And it's getting to that point now. It's actually now 9-3 in game 2. But what matters? The numbers up top, and Com's added a third.
An absolute disaster there for GT. Look at JNaps. His dodge takes him over the top. It ends up being a perfect assist for Com, who can't possibly miss.
Save. Com makes one more as well. Down to 7 seconds left. Last gasp for G2, and they've got life with 3 to go.
I mean, it's rare that we see more than one player defending the backboard, and V1, they were just, everybody camped back as deep as they could go, seeing if G2 could break through them, but G2 were good enough to break through them. It's going to be a big 3 seconds in this series.
4th goal in the series for JNaps. They need one more. They got the ball in the air at least. And Atomic, forced to actually slow play this because Com had the read. Needs one more touch, and he kept that from going to the ground from Torment. Chicago can't keep this in the air. Great challenge as V1 hangs on and levels the series.
As this all goes on, we're learning more. Didn't have the boost to attack that ball, so they need to make a little bit more use of the bit that they get, because if they don't, they're scrabbling back for defense, and it just doesn't work. It's 1-0 G2.
Yeah, version 1 trying to play the, I don't know, the 50 boost challenge or something, because yeah, you're right. They seldom have an
pretty decent sustained attack from them. At least they're putting it into the corner. It's good play from them. They seem to have steadied the ship, slowed down a little bit, and not falling for that pressure. Oh my, I am the biggest caster curse in the world. It's 2-0 G2.
I'm glad somebody took the mantle off of me. 1:43 to go, and yep. One of many shots around one. That's not the greatest from Atomic. He gets knocked away from the play by Beast Mode, and all Calm can do is sky it up for Torment, and it's good enough! V1 back within one.
I'm not quite sure how that one found its way in. I thought that the shot wasn't quite there. Com did well to turn the ball around the corner, and Torment got everything on it that he could. Could Chicago have done a little bit better there? Perhaps. Com.
Calm a little indecisive there. Gave up the shot. He couldn't get up the wall fast enough. But it worked out okay. Demolition on Chicago, and Beast Mode scores from a ridiculous angle.
That was a disgusting angle from Beast Mode. It's the sort of one where as soon as you realize it's fine in the top corner, you're like, surely not. Torment, I think, wanted to go for a redirect, and
certainly elevates them perhaps out of that number 5 seed. And if you can avoid being in the low seed in your region, you'll take it. What a save along the goal line. Follow up from Torment goes through, and version 1 scored 3 unanswered to steal game 3.
That was just brilliance all round. First, the demo, the shot was great before it, the save was fantastic as well. And then that finish from Torment, I'll tell you what, was not as easy as it seemed. And overtime, having that sort of...
Just no surprise. They play so often. They've got ice in their veins. Here goes Beast Mode. He's got enough boost, and he scores!
When he has a little bit of boost, look what he can do with it. He used everything that he had in the tank there. Look at this. First the pre-flip. Oh, and then the second touch. Atomic and JNAP, see you later. Not able to read it when it's that
over. And Chicago just skies this up, and Torment waiting for a mistake. None forthcoming as Atomic launches downfield. Calm missed it, and he goes right through Torment, does Atomic.
I think the G2 have had enough of version 1 whiffing the ball, and they've started to read it happening. You know, a couple of games ago, Atomic might have assumed that either Torment or the other defender who was...
Case after that flourish from version 1. And now Torment with a drive, bar down, and it's a race to see who will get there. It's Beast Mode who makes it 2-1.
I mean, even that finish, it came off 2 of them. It was a great bump from Calm as well. You identified it earlier, Stacks, and then Beast Mode, we'll call that a redirect.
Now it's Calm against Atomic, and, well, Atomic still managed to get the shot off, even though Calm got the bump, and there's JNAPS to tie the game.
Yet again, a V1 whiff that's been read by G2 earlier on. Maybe JNAPS doesn't go for this one. He assumes that Beast Mode will connect, whereas now he's thinking, yeah, they're missing a few of these. I think that version 1 are trying to embrace this, so if it does go down to Champions Field, V1 will have been there probably more times than anybody else so far this season. Chicago might win the overtime quickly. JNAP's going to try and put that one away, but...
Okay.
Well, I guess I pre-jumped the cast there, Stacks, and it's backfired horrifically.
Yeah, what happens with Calm here? He's ready. Didn't get his flip coming through, and well, I speak for not get the demo or the bump. Torment now around Chicago, and this is still dangerous for version 1. There's the bump by Calm. By God, he's done it again.
Oh, this Com guy, you can never relax when he is on the field. Look at that. You think you got a JNAPS? No, you do not. Comey, he just seems to figure it out, but G2 will surely come again.
This is the only game so far where version 1 has outshot G2, and they're gonna take a 2-0 lead. Beast Mode gets another open net. Boom.
I don't care how much experience you've got. I don't care that, you know, you're already guaranteed to make it to the... In the context of this series, Stacks, that is frustrating.
This is, again, the first game where G2 has not just had a significant shot advantage, and now it's looking more and more like version 1 is going to go to Neo Tokyo on match point.
They've not gone into their shell and tried to be as safe as humanly possible because they know that G2 can so easily penetrate that and will time and time again. Instead, they're sticking with what works for them. They are sticking with the unpredictability that G2 are struggling just as much fall for the same tricks, or have they been studying those replays and will know exactly what G2 are trying now?
Oh, Calm still scores over Atomic. I wondered when maybe G2 might punish version 1 for hanging around on the backboard maybe too much, and then Calm just launches downfield, probably the hardest, and Chicago takes over at midfield. He's got Torment to contend with, and Torment makes the initial save. JNAPS for the tie, and he scores with 1:40.
I was going to say it was sort of like a mini game. Can version 1 hold for 2 minutes after coming back? And the answer was a resounding no, they could not. JNAP slamming that. Version 1 have just managed to wrestle back some initiative with 45 seconds left.
Palm now picked his spot. No, Beast Mode's there with 38 to go. V1 back on top.
Brilliant there from Calm. Look at that, just hovering in the air, waiting, drawing G2's defense in, and then taking it past them. Beast Mode, the ball falls to him.
And target, no, it's wide, and Beast Mode clears. Down to the final few seconds. JNAPs and Chicago down to their last lives, and that'll do it. Version 1 comes out like a